Hi, my name is Jibran. Welcome once again to Unlisted Talk. Well, we have been doing a lot of Chakra readings on popular people, leaders of the world, and do check out those videos and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far. Well, here we are with something sensational, and you'll find out who it is. But before that, Sam, how are you?
You know, Jibran, once again, I'm a little off. Last time it was World War III, and tonight there is the beginnings of a revolution in Pakistan. Very,
True.
you know.
I know it's crazy. It's like weird times in a way, but it's scary.
Yes.
For what news is coming out of Pakistan. You're there. I don't know how you feel, what the sentiment is.
So just to tell you, I had no electricity the whole day, and I had no internet for hours and hours. But they've been restored, so I'm talking to you right now. But things are very tense, and let's see what the outcome of tonight is. The last ball, like you said, for the political situation in Pakistan.
Yes, it is. The video is about IMRAN Khan, the former cricketer, Prime Minister of Pakistan, the legend, as to what a lot of people believe. But we have Sam, who is a spiritual healer, with us. He's done Chakra readings of Imran Khan on the 22nd, which is 2 days ago. And we want to know what the insights are. We want to know things about him which we, of course, don't know, because there is a big portion of the control narrative on the internet or the mainstream media. So thank you, Sam. I know it's crackers out there right now, and you are in the middle of I shouldn't be calling it a civil war, but it does seem quite a lot of aggression and violence out there in Islamabad right now as we speak.
Well, definitely a political revolution. Yes.
I think for better term that would be it. How have you been? How are you dealing with all this? Before we start, why don't you tell me that?
Well, normally I'm focused, I do my meditation and so on and so forth, but this assignment, I mean, this, this is personal to me as well, because Khan has been such a controversial figure in the media, and, both of us know that the media lies, but I have never looked for a spiritual confirmation of who he is before, so it's educational even for me.
Yeah, I remember once I think the first video we did was Donald Trump, right? And I remember you telling me that you've never done this before for the world leaders or personalities like these that we've been recently speaking about. You've done chakra readings for a lot of people, for your customers and clients, for healing purposes.
For healing purposes.
For healing purposes.
Yes, and I know those people personally.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I mean, it is no less than what things you've been telling us than mind-boggling and mind-blowing things that you've been telling us with chakra readings, and that's, of course, this something that people won't find over the internet. And it's well, I'm excited about IK. I really want to know what's going on with that man. He's been in jail for over a year, charged with over 200 cases. I don't know where the cases are, but they seem to have dropped out of thin air. All of a sudden they're gone. That's what it appears to be, and it looks like he's in a political he's a political victim.
Yes.
So
far.
So okay, let's start with this. I have an impression, I have an image of Imran Khan for how he looks like, what he says in general. I've been following him for a while. A little while ago I used to. Is he a true believer, a righteous man, how he shows himself to be, or yet he is just another manipulator, taking the name of the religion and hiding behind it?
Well, considering religion has been part of his politics, but only in terms of moral aspiration, this is a very important question. So, the first chakra, the crown chakra, gives us a clue as to whether someone is connected with the divine, with a higher purpose, with better possibilities. And yes, Gibran, this guy genuinely is, his crown chakra is wide open and he has a strong faith and divine connection. But that's my reading. What is your intuition? What do you think?
Man, I of course don't have the insights like you do, but what it appears to be, or what my intuitive feeling about this guy, he gives off a vibe that nobody else does, at least in the Pakistani political scene. I mean, I
He's, he's not corrupt, he's not a hypocrite.
huh.
He has stood his ground like a lion, a caged tiger.
I mean,
You can't do this without the divine.
I don't know if this guy is like a man of steel or he's divine, but I can tell you one thing: people who can take a lot of, there are a lot of people who use religion as a shield or as a way to project themselves forward into becoming popular. You can catch on to those lies at some point. He's been out there in the Pakistani political scene, out there on the media for a very, very, very long time. I haven't seen any such vibe coming off from him that he's a liar. And at least when he talks about religion, he's lying. Yes, but I'll tell you one thing. He does not sound like a cleric to me in the first place. So he doesn't sound.
No.
He doesn't sound like a guy who is an expert in religion in the first place.
He's not a fundamentalist also.
Huh.
I think his interpretation of religion is spiritual. And he used to be a famous playboy, party boy, a model, a cricketer, a glamorous man. And he had a slow transformation, and he's very open about his transformation.
Yeah,
He's not building a career. He's not building a career on religion, per se.
that is the difference. That does seem to be the. In his case, it does. He doesn't embarks on that front, but his fundamentals, political fundamentals, are taken from the religious tangent, or at least being a man of God. That's what it seems.
True. True. But they even if he uses Arabic or Islam as a inspiration, everything he says is a fundamental truth across all religions.
That is true.
So I would call him spiritual rather than religious.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. His party is called Tehreek-e-Insaf, which means justice, a movement for justice. He wants to create a society where justice is the fundamental pillar that gives rise to all the goodies in a society, from financial, economic development to equality, of inclusion and respect and growth and all those things, whether it's social, moral, financial. So it does seem like that he has that inspiration coming in. So it cannot be a person who does not believe in the divine or the maker, So
That's right. All justice stems from the equality of human beings, and if you can live up to that ideal, you will create a just society. And I hope Imran believes in that.
So I mean, it is just so sad, in a way, that I see the person like that who's talking about justice is actually a victim of injustice himself. I mean,
Yes.
how
Amazing.
bizarre, if
Yes.
I'm to say that.
And blatant injustice. Blatant.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least it shows one thing, that there is extreme injustice to a point where there's no value for human life in a country like that. This guy, it's a big challenge that he's taken upon himself. And
Yes.
we'll get down to other things, but what I really want to know, and I really am interested in knowing that he is a Oxford educated graduate.
That's
in
right.
political science, and so was Benazir Bhutto.
And economics. And economics.
Okay, that was new to me, but so economy and political science, of course. So, um, does he really know the applied part of these things? Does he know what he is doing, or is he another Zelensky that we? Pardon my French, but the point is that does he know what he is doing? Are we dealing with just a puppet here? Sorry, a puppet.
Well, the mainstream media has gone out of its way to make him appear to be stupid and dumb. They've nicknamed him Mr. U-turn, but according to the Chakra reading, the third eye chakra is wide open. So not only is the man brilliant in terms of intellect, but is really wise as well, and is very intuitive as well. And often he's talking about things, or predicting things, or planning things way ahead of our time. And it takes the rest of the country, and particularly the stupid media, years to catch up with the guy. So I think he's absolutely brilliant, and definitely in touch with, consciousness.
Two things I'll tell you off the bat from your conversation. One, he did not plan that he'd be put into jail. Or maybe he did.
Of course not.
He did plan for his assassination attempts.
Yes.
Not the jail thing. And the other thing is that mainstream media does have a narrative, but what we've seen with the Ike coming into power 2018, I believe, he had, I think, just parallel to Trump, he built up the social media and his media cell so strong that could pierce like an arrow through the wall of the mainstream media that was giving out a certain kind of a narrative, a controlled version. So he broke through. And I think I'll give him credit where it belongs.
Gibran, I disagree slightly with you, both for Trump and for Imran. I think this media support that they received from digital media was organic. I don't think they pushed for it. It's because people love them, people believe in them, people voluntarily created this amazing network of citizen journalism. And both of them, of course, were the beneficiaries of it. But to say that they successfully manipulated people into creating a strong digital presence is incorrect. I think people have volunteered to do it. They love them. They believe in them. The US election just shows how popular Trump is against all odds. And let's see what tonight will bring for Imran.
Well, my point was not manipulation. My point was merely that how we finally have come to a point in the last decade or two that how mainstream media produces a very controlled narrative. It's not fair. It does not show the complete picture. With Trump in the US and Imran in Pakistan, during their movements especially, they have been able to mobilize the people on social media enough that it can create a dent on the mainstream media, and we start to hear about the other side of the news as well.
That's right. In fact, both in the United States and in Pakistan, nobody is watching mainstream media anymore. They have financial trouble. They don't know what to do, and people know that they are liars. And they know that they have been lied to for years now.
Oh, yeah.
So the mainstream media will have to work really hard to regain trust. But I think it would be better if they just go extinct. They've done such a poor job.
Yeah, well, honestly, they don't deserve to be there. But I think them being there also is what keeps the balance. Otherwise, extreme skewness will happen again, and then extreme reliance on social media itself alone would put us in the same trouble. Anybody with paid advertisement can control the narrative too. But anyways, that's a separate game. At least what the bright side of the picture is that people have become the biggest thing that I reckon from Imran as well as Trump is that they both have done a tremendous job in educating people, bringing about that awareness, and people themselves stepping up the game. Now it's no longer about selling ideas to people or pitching people something foolish and stupid and just sparkly and glittery. People are aware, and it is no longer a stage where you can fool the public anymore. So we're dealing with a very intelligent, intellectual audience, especially the youth, you know. So I think the stage is ripe for any sort of a change that can possibly happen in a country. What do you think?
I think there is a lot of lies which have become part of everybody's life. The minute we open our mouth, it turns into a conspiracy theory. So I don't know about, they've set the stage for it, but there is a lot of work which needs to be done. The world is still a mystery and we hardly know anything about it. And for the longest time, we have not been allowed to talk about it openly. So there is a lot which needs to be unraveled at this point. That's my comment.
Okay. Well said. You're very careful generally. I realize
I'm coming from the spiritual perspective. Most people are not spiritual, and spirituality is a reality.
True.
And that reality still needs to be discussed in the mainstream narrative. That we are not just bodies and physical beings, that there is a lot more to humanity.
Absolutely. Back to Ike.
Yes.
Man, I see that Imran is a person who speaks about peace. He has spoken about peace in almost every other main platform or bigger forums. I mean, he's been on the world forums almost everywhere we know of. Is this the right time as a part of a calculated strategy to be talking about peace, or is the man truthful and he genuinely means it?
I think any time is the right time to talk about peace, Chakra. In the middle of a war, a famine, Armageddon, we still need to talk about peace. Peace is one of the divine values which we absolutely cannot flourish without. As far as Imran speaking the truth, I looked at the throat chakra, the ether element, wide open. The guy has been speaking the truth. And not only has he been speaking the truth, he has the power to manifest the truth as well. He's not an ordinary man. So yeah, I think he has not been lying to us. We may be misunderstanding him. There may be communication issues, but his intentions are beautiful and truthful.
He does seem to be a simple guy. I've not seen him try to hold conversation on a tricky level, being extra smart, highly intellectual. I've seen him speak to people in such a simplified manner that it gets boring at times. So,
Yes.
I mean, I've seen people who have the art of lying. They actually are good with having conversations in a way that they can play around with things. But he says it so simply. How much can you bend that statement later on?
But just a general statement there, the human mind loves convoluted ideas, subtlety and indirectness. And the brain goes in, we are so used to lying to each other that the brain goes into shock if it hears a simple, clear truth. All spiritual truths are simple and clear, and the brain immediately rejects them. And it wants a complicated, convoluted, alternative explanation to every truth. And that's what Western academia is based on. You have, research paper after research paper and book after book, which is, just...
Wow. That is so true. I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around simple things because you feel like there's something missing in it. Though it's just so simple that, it should make sense by itself.
That's right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot more questions from Sam, who's a spiritual healer, about Imran Khan, the former cricketer, former Prime Minister of Pakistan. We will be back in a minute. Welcome back once again. We were in a discussion about chakra reading of Imran Khan, his political career, him as a person, and Sam has been kind enough to take his time to do Imran Khan's chakra reading, and we've done 3 chakras so far from top down. Here's a big one. And Sam used those words. So Sam, I'm just quoting you here now. My question is, the playboy, superstar, fashion model, party boy, call him whatever you want. He has a long list of adjectives. Is he able to truly love? I mean, so many marriages, divorce, scandals. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Is he really somebody who can contain and hold true love?
Yes, Gibran, I think he can. His heart chakra is wide open. He understands the power of love. He understands what love means. He loves people. He loves the masses. He loves humanity. He loves nature. He planted 1 billion trees in the country. He loves the divine. He loves the truth. He loves justice. That's become very clear, you know. Another problem that the guy has is that his tonsils and, you know, the thyroid gland and all of this area is wide open. So he speaks the truth blatantly, and people get very confused. And he always says what he wants to. There is no hypocrisy there. So he's made a lot of enemies. People don't like direct truths. And yes, he has loved several women, but he's loved them passionately, and they've all hurt him in one way or another, or it hasn't worked out. And he's, you know, gracefully exited. And I think he loves the masses that he is representing right now. He loves Pakistan and its people, especially the downtrodden ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can stay aside for now. But yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Imran Khan may be a passionate lover or a playboy, ex-playboy, but he does love his people genuinely and with all his heart. Hence why he's putting his life on the line and propelling this movement forward for justice.
And literally propelling his life on the line. There have been so many assassination attempts on his life. And, you know, a couple of years ago when he was shot?
Yes, I think it was last year.
Last year?
Perhaps last year when he was rallying for Islamabad, and midway from Lahore, somewhere few hundred kilometers out, he had that attempt on him.
So the power of his love also makes him a very forgiving man. That's very weird. He also knows how to love his enemies, but not to compromise on the truth. Maybe that's going to be a flaw if he comes back into power, but he knows how to love his enemy also.
Well, that is yet to be seen. We do actually. The thing is, in his tenure of being the prime minister holding the office, there have been a lot of cases reported of political victimization from the opposition, and the optics do appear to be different than what you're saying, unless those cases were genuine and they're being painted as political victimization.
Well, Gibran, I'm not very up to date in political history, but from what I remember, you know, the two other parties which were in power before Imran, kept building cases on each other to keep each other in check, even though they are partners in crime. They pretend that they pretended that they were two opposing factions politically. Now those cases were piled up in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court was ignoring them, to give them leeway.
I see.
And when Imran Khan came into power, just naturally they came up one after the other in the order assigned. And I don't think he initiated any of the cases. And how corrupt the justice system is, that all the cases fell through and nobody was punished for anything.
What a timing.
So
that's all I can say.
Yeah,
what a
that's
timing.
right.
Well, anyways,
That's right.
I think all sorts of things happen. It could be a mere coincidence. Let's see.
But Khan always said something to his opponents, his political opponents, when the cases were, ongoing, that please return the money you have stolen from my poor people, and I will let you go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not interested in punishing you, jailing you, killing you, anything of the sort.
Would that be justice?
Do return the money which you have stolen from the starving masses.
Is that wisdom? Is that
I
wisdom
don't know.
and not pure justice, or is it justice with wisdom? You're letting a thief
don't
go
know.
without his hands being chopped off, or some sort of a punishment, besides
think
just returning the money.
For politicians, public embarrassment, confession of their crime would be enough of a punishment. They would be out of their political careers forever. But,
Pakistan's landscape is... I have no words for it, but... I think there must be some sort of a sensible wisdom. Maybe Pakistanis need the money more than
Yes.
more than anything else. That's what wisdom
Yeah.
requires at the moment.
Yes.
Or that's what the
That's correct.
need of time is.
That's correct.
Okay. So let's move past the savior in of the of the Pakistani political victimization and the savior of Pakistani public or people. He's intelligent, he's smart, he's very well learned, he's educated, he has connections, he's been abroad, he's been in Pakistan, he's been all over the globe practically. End of the day, the question is, when I look at myself in the mirror, do I know who I am? Does he know who he is? Or why is he doing all this?
That's a great question. Yeah, he knows who he is, and he knows that it is the spiritual duty of every human being to be doing this. He's not critical of others, he's not comparing himself with others, but he knows what it means to be a human being. He knows he is the best of creation, quite obviously, and he puts his trust in the divine and is willing to die in the process.
Wow.
And because he has a strong belief in an afterlife, yeah, I think he knows who he is according to his belief system. He's a very well sorted out man with a very strong identity. Yeah, the sun chakra the fire chakra is wide open. He gets along with people, his clan, his family. I think the man has learned over the years how to control his anger, his stubbornness. He has learned the hard way that you have to forgive people. He has gotten over all bitterness. He has really worked hard on himself. I don't know his life story. This is my chakra reading of the body. He has decided to let go of negativity and darkness.
Are you saying that he was not always like this? Oh, I mean, there are parts of him we know that he wasn't. But
I don't know, but I know he was not always like this. This is an evolutionary process. Okay. And right now, he's a fantastic human.
So he's worked on himself to a point. And it makes sense actually, because I was going to ask you, excuse me, I was going to ask you that up until now, all what we've discussed is all positive. Check boxes are being ticked up and say every chakra is working perfectly fine. It's wide open. He's amazing. Is this one of the reasons why he's able to stand and withstand all this torture, and he's going head on and he's still strong? Or is he weakened up in the past 2 days of readings that you've done on the 22nd of this of November? Has he weakened up at some point, do you think so?
Sorry, excuse the coughing. Yes, he has. He has. I think jail has had its toll on him. I picked up on parasites in his body. He probably picked them up in the prison. Also, some damage to his kidneys, which happens to prisoners, by the way. It's a very frequent disorder.
Is it because of the food and water, those kind of things?
Also, if you're tortured, if you are constantly... So, my kidney reading is adrenaline overdrive, right? So if you're constantly tortured or made to feel insecure, it can lead to something like that. So there are changes. This process has not been easy on him. His leg is healed, where the bullet holes were. And he's generally very fit. He keeps himself very fit. He is 72 years old, but he has no major disease that I could pick up on. He has no major disease.
One thing I was thinking, there are methods of torture. I mean, sometimes they don't physically have to touch you to torture you, but I've heard rumors that came out that he was put into dark cells for days, and then he was put into cells with lights blasting at him for days. And these are old methods of torture, psychological torture. It will wear you out, mentally it's mental incapacitation too, for temporary though, but it does all sorts of things. But the guy looks really strong physically and mentally for his age.
And you know, Khan is the kind of guy who, once this is all over, hopefully really soon, will not tell us what they did to him.
Oh yeah.
He will downplay it, and he will get over it very, very quickly. He will heal his body, mind, and soul. He knows. I think he's a mystical kind of a guy. He knows the healing processes. He knows a lot more than his public persona is portraying.
Oh wow! I remember when last he was imprisoned. A big thing became an issue. It was apparently his class that he's supposed to be assigned, the facilities that he's supposed to have, and he was never given those. And then there was a contrast being drawn between his political opponents, who are right now in power, the entire coalition of current Pakistani regime. And they've been given all those facilities and resources, and way beyond measure. This guy has never come up, or either directly or himself or through his lawyers, saying that he does not has the facilities, and he's crying about it, or he's whining about it, or he's complaining, any of that, which is a sign of what you are saying, kind of endorses that idea. Sam, is this guy, he's been accused, it's hearsay, he's been accused of black magic and participation and things like that. Is he doing any of that, or is he possessed himself? Is some sort of an evil force kind of attacks him, tries to control him, or probably controls him? And I don't want to name people and I don't want to label people, but people around him are also a part of this what you call poster that has been made, that they are the participants of active evil. How do you look at this? How do you look at IK?
Interesting question, Gibran. I think he has a solid wall of protection, spiritual protection around him. He's very, very well protected from evil and evil attacks. So unlike some of the people whose chakra readings we did, in which I told you that I think they are possessed, literally possessed by other creatures or the reptilians or whatever, I don't know, whatever evil forces are out there. Khan is completely protected, and he knows how to protect himself, and he's shielded from all of this. I don't think he's an evil man, but he does have a good understanding of the occult, and he knows how to protect himself. And I think he relies on unseen spiritual help and receives it.
He's been lucky. I mean, assassination attempts, he's, kind of dodged it, or of course with unseen help. But he does seem to, or it seems so that he does have that kind of protection around him.
Well, a general comment, this kind of help or protection is not received on a plate. You have to earn it, and you have to constantly earn it. For example, when he was put in isolation cells, one of his family members or one of the party members reported that he said, "I'm perfectly fine. I read holy scriptures and I meditate all day. I'm fine. I don't care." So, you have to keep turning things around. Excuse
me.
If you're in a dark cell, find something awesome to do.
Wow.
Improve yourself. Work on yourself.
He didn't
say. How many of us can? How many of us can do that? How many of us can remember all this?
I can't even fathom the idea of being in that kind of a place. Let alone remembering that, this is what can be done.
That's right. That's right.
A side note, a question off topic, if I am allowed to ask.
Of course.
There are good forces that protect you. There's the creator who protects you. Of course, it depends on whose side you're on. But if there's an imposing force, a satanic force, it can also protect you.
I don't know how to answer that question. It's too general. Perhaps if there was a real solid example, I could look at it this way, but I don't know how to answer this question.
I mean, there are a lot of influential, powerful people we don't know names of, but they control the world, and we do have an inkling of the outcomes. Based on that, we can tell that they have some dark forces behind them.
And those forces are protecting them?
Can be. Or these people are continuing to do it for centuries,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, or this is the time to talk about it.
Let's skip that.
Yeah.
I know it was just a general thing that came to mind, nothing to do with IK or anything else regarding the topic. With all being said, the stage being set for who Imran is, who he has been from divinity down to his own personal identity matters. Imran comes out as what? A happy man, a man with who on the right side of when it comes to life. A person who has joy. He does seem to enjoy a lot of things. I mean, shows joy, but it can only be a facade. Can you confirm or deny?
I think this man knows how to enjoy every situation, no matter how bad. Every honor, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, winning the World Cup in cricket. He takes it in his stride. He has the grace of not becoming arrogant, and he enjoys all of it. He enjoys the ups and the downs. Amazing man, almost saint-like. I don't know what to say. His life has been such a roller coaster. His political career, 25 years ago, nobody would let him into their house. And now one of his autographs can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he gives them out freely. He's a different kind of a human being. Yes, he enjoys life.
Okay.
He does.
Why I asked you this? I want to understand, because to me, I'm a family-oriented kind of guy. So to me, if my personal relationships with my mother, with my wife, family, those are kind of relationships, children, if they are not solid, it speaks a lot about me. Doesn't matter how I pretend to behave outside in a social spectrum.
I see. Well, one of the few, one aspect of this reading which was not entirely positive, and I don't like commenting on people's personal lives too much, but I think there is some sort of a problem with his relationship with his current wife, even though he really loves her. So I picked up on that.
Okay,
there is-
I think we'll keep it to just that. But it's something that raises an eyebrow. It's questionable. There's something going on.
Yes, but what it is, I can't tell. I mean, is it a minor thing or a major thing? Is it a political disagreement? That I can't tell. But there is some sort of, I don't know.
Man, you sparking something up and then zipping it. Okay, you can do that. Fine.
No, I have to speak within my limits. I don't have. I can't.
Respect. Don't worry. I respect that, and I think it's better rather than saying something which nobody's going to benefit from, but somebody might get hurt from that.
Yes.
It wouldn't be the right equation to set, and that's not the
right.
principles you stand for. I have respect and regard for that. Gossip some other time, some other topic, some other day. A year in prison, Imran Khan, and I'm just closing it down now. Okay. Parasites are there. You mentioned some sort of torture has been inflicted on him. Not some sort of, quite a lot of sorts of torture. Kidneys, you said.
That's right.
You see certain concerns around those areas.
Yes.
Is he starting to get afraid? Are there signs, or does he stand strong?
No, he is not afraid at all. I mean, good Lord, what they've done everything possible to this man, from invading his house and you name it, every kind of ridiculous legal case, and starving him, and you name it, and he's not afraid. He's standing solid. His past is resolved. He has not allowed any trauma in his life to get in the way. Very resolved. And he's often accused of being, a cocaine user or whatever, because of his superb energy. He's not dependent on anything. That's his strength. Unlike, he doesn't even need a cup of tea.
Are you saying that he does cocoa and but he's not dependent on it?
No, I'm saying he does not. He's not even the kind of personality who will look for a clutch in life. He's highly independent, very confident, not afraid of anything.
Hold on.
Because, but there's a reason for all of this, Gibran. Because he's not afraid to die.
No, but you can do all these synthetic drugs and stuff, or the organic drugs and stuff, and still die. You're not afraid to die. So what?
No, you are afraid to die. That's why you're doing all those things.
Oh, the different psychology there.
Yes.
He's been accused of drugs. He's been accused. I mean, I'm not going to say it's political opposition that does that, but looking at his lifestyle from a general point of view, you see a guy who's been in the high role in fashion and in the limelight, and off the screen, off the record, behind the scenes, you were telling me about when you went to London and you're blown away that every billboard that you saw had Imran Khan on it. So
yes,
with
the
that,
late 80s.
so with all that fame, I mean, drugs just kind of become a part and parcel under
Oh,
those.
perhaps at that point, but right now, there is no trace of anything of the sort.
Clean.
Yes, very clean.
Ooh. Khan, give us something to gossip about. What are you doing, man? Such a clean, pristine record. Sam, I want to conclude this. It's been an amazing episode for IKEM, and I have regard for this man. I'll say that. I shouldn't. I wanted to keep it neutral, but I have regard. I have regard.
You
for this.
and 2/3 of the country's population.
Yes, maybe our minds align.
Yes.
But before we conclude this thing, I want you to tell me if there is other analysis on organ-based analysis that you've done, or if you've missed out something that's worth mentioning.
Not really, Gibran. I think I've covered everything. Very solid guy, almost saint-like, currently being tortured, but standing tall, standing firm, not afraid.
How is his lungs, if I may ask?
No anxiety attacks whatsoever.
I specifically asked for that. Okay. I think he's solid. He's super solid. I hope the movement of the Pakistani people are looking for. They stand victorious. I hope the country comes back into safer hands. I have regard for IK. I have wishful thinking for his release and he regaining his health wherever he has lost it.
And my parting message for everybody watching this video is, please pray for Pakistan tonight.
Oh yeah, a big night for Pakistan. I didn't hear good news coming in, but I hope everything is done safely, and whatever happens does not cost somebody their life how it has happened previously. It would be a loss. With that, thank you, Sam. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for taking out your time. And it's always without saying, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Gibran. I'm humbled.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do that, because we are in need of it now. Because good messages need to go out. Important things need to be heard. Your participation is equally important, not just ours. So please do write to us as well. Mention whatever ideas you have in the comments. We'll be more than happy to speak on those topics or address your questions if you have any. Do only also subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you get the notifications once we update and upload the videos. Sam is a spiritual healer. If you want to get in touch with him, the way his website is mentioned in the description, it's also on the screen, which is healedbylife.com. Also, you can visit his YouTube channel called Healed by Life. Till our next video, you take care of yourself, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.